Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to today's Bitcoin update for Thursday 22 of September. Right, it's been a little bit late today, just pretty lazy. Sometimes when I'm lazy, I'm truly lazy. Anyways, yesterday there was a lot of manipulation that actually happened for Bitcoin, and we saw Bitcoin going to the downside. So right now I do see a certain resistance at the moment that I do want to lay out there. So you came down like this, you're moving sideways, went down again, made that wick to that resistance level right there. So even if you were to move a little bit higher, maybe it is time for Bitcoin to maybe go a little bit up like that one to that particular trend line and then move to the downside. Today is Thursday, all right? So we do have a lot of bullish divergences on so many different altcoins, but you know what? I still do not have any views for Bitcoin being bullish anytime soon, especially this Fed meeting today, and it's expected. I don't know, I was just reading this article, and they say that rupee at record low on hawkish Fed, investors pin hopes on equity floors. So there's a lot of things going on, and the interest rate, they're actually raising it by 75 basis points, and that's not good. That is not good for crypto, and hopefully today's not going to be so detailed about Bitcoin, but I'm going to talk about the pivot point. Actually, let me just do it, okay? So when does the bear market actually comes to an end? Okay, so let me go to auto draw here, and we're going to talk about the pivot point that we need to know. Now, first of all, I'm pretty sure you don't know what the pivot point really is, and as a matter of fact, you might not even know what the BPS 75 basis point is. So right now, for every $10,000 that you spend, there's like 2.25% of BPS. Okay, BPS 2.2. That's how much interest rate has gone up, 2.25%. That's mean for every $10,000 you get $225 as as loan or something. And if you increase 0.75, which they're saying here, which is 75 basis points, that means 0.75%, and that's going to actually go to 3% of interest hike to the upside. And by the time when all of this was happening, when you had the first 1% basis point, Bitcoin dropped from 40,000 to maybe I think from 69,000 all the way to 40,000, and then it went to 2.25, and then it went from 40,000 to 20,000. And now that you're going to go for 3%, then think what's going to happen, right? So that means you're going to get $300 for every $10,000 that you spend. You get back $300 as loan. Now at the moment, when does this thing come to an end? Now I talked about this on the Discord as well. I know it's a Bitcoin update right now, but my view still remains to the downside, and that's why I think it's better we talk about the world economy and the financial crisis going on out there. There's a date, maybe 13 October. Okay, there's another meeting coming in November. You have another meeting coming in as well. I think there's 2 meetings in November, one being 2nd and another one being on 12th as well. So expect maybe within 6 months, because on the Discord I've been announcing all of this. So let me actually open up Discord. I think it's gonna if we do load up Discord, it's gonna be way more clear for me, and I'm gonna talk about the pivot point, which I'm coming into, but it was important for you to know about the BPS. So talking about pivot, I do know what pivot really stands for, and the pivot is more like a balance. Okay, so let's go to Google and say what pivot meaning. I don't know if you learned anything from physics, but when I was a kid, I actually learned about pivot. I even bought a dictionary just to learn the word pivot. That's a fact, the central point. Okay, so it's a balance, it's a center, the central point. Have you ever seen a seesaw? Do you even know something about a seesaw? All right, so first of all, let's talk about the Discord here, and this was where there were some dates that I posted out there. Yes, so 4 important dates this year to look for: 21 September, which happened yesterday or today. There's another Fed meeting that they're going to raise up, and then you have 13th of October, 2nd of November, 8th of November. All of these are meetings from Fed, in my opinion. And seesaw, if you just look at seesaw, something like this is the balance, and you have something like this, and then you have another thing like this. As a kid, we used seesaw to sit on one side and play with it. Now this center point is known as the pivot. Okay, this is known as the pivot. So in order for the bear market to come to an end for Bitcoin, all right, this is a logical explanation about this one out of the charts. The charts confuses a lot of people, but based on the meetings and fundamentals, the pivot, you must come to a center point, because right now, if we take the seesaw and I remove all of these things, if I bring in the pivot right now, and let's say you have something like this, very, very big stone right there and a very small stone, right? So this guy right here, this one is known as the interest rate, and this is where the Bitcoin and the real estates are, okay? So if the interest rate is too much, then you're gonna see, if the interest rate actually overweights Bitcoin, then Bitcoin is actually going to go down, because the weight of this one is too much. But the same way, if you do see the interest rate going down, I mean the BPS, because when the BPS increases in weight, just like as I showed you, Bitcoin is going to continue to be defeated right here. I know it's up right there, but what this means for Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is actually going for the bear market, okay? Now, if the BPS decreases though, the problem is that the BPS is increasing, okay? It is raised its target interest rate by another 75 basis point. That is 0.75, and we're already sitting at 2.25. So it's important for the BPS to drop. And when the BPS drop, we're going to come to a pivot point, the central point where this one is okay, this one is okay. And that's where I do think, now this is a problem. 75 BPS is a problem. Bitcoin might actually come down to 8,000, as I told you before. And when that pivot point comes, that's where Bitcoin moves sideways, okay? We come into the central point, and then you start to move up, go back up, absolutely crazy. And this is where the deflation phase is going to start, which is the opposite of inflation. So that means that the interest rate is going to go down, and the line is going to actually look like this. So it's going to be Bitcoin that is heavy going for the bull side, and the dollar is actually going down. And that's pretty much it for this Bitcoin update right now. My view still remains to the downside for Bitcoin at the moment. It's really crucial and important for Bitcoin to come above 20,000, go to 21,000, and maybe from there, this is where we might start the debate of Bitcoin maybe going a little bit higher. If that is not happening, guys, finger crossed. SPX is bearish, as I told you. Cardano is actually bad. I just want to end up with Cardano. I'm going to actually make an update, so do watch the update for Cardano. There's a head and shoulder for Cardano right now. The altcoins are showing that it's bearish. You can see left shoulder head, the right shoulder. It was already broken down, and we're looking to move to the downside. And that's pretty much it for this Bitcoin update. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.